Hey traders, it's Wednesday, November 20th. This is a follow-up video to the one that I did this morning. I told you that the S&P was going to sell off today, and that's exactly what's happened. There was my initial video was right in here about a half an hour after the open. You can see the gap down. The market tried to come back up, and it did fill in this gap, but from that point forward, it's been very, very weak. Hang on to your puts. I wanted to tell you that in the earlier video, and I'm sorry I forgot to turn my mic on. So in any case, we've got this really beautiful 10P indicator cross right here, bearish cross right up in here, drift, 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 drift lower. Then it flatlines, and then we get another really nice cross here, and there's the big drop. Now, if you would have bought this cross right here, you would have done fine. However, I feel that we've got another big drop coming. The FOMC minutes are being released right now. It's going to be a splash of cold water right on the face of the market. You can see I'm doing this live. This is the last bar. It's updating. There's not going to be anything new in the FOMC minutes. However, it's going to remind everyone that the market doesn't have that safety net. The Fed is done for the year. The likelihood of a trade truce is going to be diminished because Trump is going to have to speak out about the Hong Kong pro-democracy protests. The Senate yesterday passed a bill, and so I'm just waiting for Trump to weigh in. Plus, Trump has already said, China's going to have to do a lot more to get me to repeal the tariffs that I put on in September, and they're going to have to do a lot more to get me to not impose new tariffs in December. Throw in the protests. This has been both countries just toying with each other over the course of the last year. A truce is the best that we can hope for. So, here's what I'm looking for, and you'll see this in the first video. By the way, let's go back. Here's my first video that I posted this morning. Day trading video, buy puts. Bearish tweet coming, 11:20. And I had mentioned to you earlier in the day in my comments, make sure that you come back and check my comments because I'm going to be posting trades in my comments like I've been doing the last few weeks. You can see here 11:11 Eastern time. That's 90 minutes into trading. I bought the VXX at 1750. I'm also buying a handful of NOV 25 SPY puts. That's the 311 strike at 87 cents. Here you can see I posted another entry, bought more of the 311 puts on the breakdown. Take a look at that breakdown right in here. I started buying more puts when we took out the low of the day. Whoosh, market sold off. So what do we do now? Usually on these big drops like this, really big red bar, close on the low, close on the low, close on the low. This tells us that there's going to be more negative action coming throughout the course of the day. You're going to get this bounce. You're going to get this nice down trend here. We've got about another 2 hours of trading left. We're going to test this low. We might take out the low. I don't believe we are going to see a decent bounce until maybe the last half hour of trading, and I'm not looking for a big bounce because bullish speculators are going to get flushed out. Plus, Trump today did not say anything about the Hong Kong protests, but in the course of the next day or two, he's going to be forced to because we've got Democrats lining up on this and Republicans. Everybody is waiting for him to weigh in. It's pretty rare that you get Republicans and Democrats agreeing on anything. This is a no-brainer. Trump is going to speak out in favor of the protests. Then you're going to get the backlash from China. And then everybody's going to wonder if there's going to be a trade truce or not, and the market is going to pull back. Take a look at the SPY, see where we might possibly pull back to. That 310 level, that was the gap higher. We filled in that gap. I'd mentioned that. This is about as high as I want to go on the bounce right here. I'd like to see us get more follow-through selling this afternoon, and I think we will. The next level of support is 307. I certainly think that we could touch that. Really depends on how negative the comments are coming out of China. On this pullback, okay, right now I'm talking shorting the market from a day trading perspective, from a shorter term perspective. Swing traders, I've been telling you, we took profits on all of our bullish put spreads up in here. Last week, we had an SPY position, took profits on that for exactly this reason. Market's getting top heavy, very vulnerable to a nasty day. Well, we're going to get it. Swing traders, we need to wait for that pullback to the 302 level. Once these bullish speculators get flushed out of the market, here's the real story, is that USMCA might get passed because the Democrats are lining up for it. That's a much bigger trade deal than China. We do a lot more trade with Mexico and Canada than we do with China. Twice as much exports to Europe. So China's not that big a player in terms of the amount of exports. They mainly buy our agricultural products, and they have to buy our agricultural products. They got 1.2 billion people. Their consumer price index was up 3.8% because they were boycotting our agricultural products. So they have to buy our products just to keep inflation from escalating. So the U.S. is in the driver's seat from my standpoint, and the whole U.S.-China trade truce won't make that much difference. So when we get that nice big washout, we are going to be looking from a swing trading perspective to reload all of our bullish put spreads, and we're going to ride them higher into year end. That's the game plan. So for today, because this is primarily a day trading video, I want to make sure that I address what you should do with your position. Right now, hang on to your puts. I believe you can hang on to them right into the close. You might have to weather a little bit of a bounce on the close, like in the last half hour. After a big sell-off, you might also have to weather a bounce tomorrow on the open. But there's a chance that overnight Trump decides to say something about the Hong Kong protests. And if he does, that's when everything kicks into motion. That's when we get the next leg of the selling. I'm going to be willing to take that chance. I'll probably take half of my profits today on my put position. I'll probably hold half of them overnight tomorrow, and then I'll look for a rally on the open where I can add to that position. That's how I'm playing it. Try and ride these puts as long as you can. I think we're going to have a nasty day. Look for selling into the close today. The FOMC minutes came out about 10 minutes ago. Haven't seen a big reaction to it, but you can see that prices are starting to drift lower. Good luck with your trades. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I post these videos every morning, an hour after the open. They are loaded with trade ideas. Make sure that you come back and check my comments. I'm posting trades and updates here. I don't always know what's going to be moving a half an hour into the open. But given an hour and 15 minutes, all of a sudden I have a lot of clarity. I see the real McCoys. I know which stocks are going to be moving, and I come in here and I post them. If you look at my comments yesterday, I posted 3 stocks early in the day. They were fantastic. They all moved higher. Then into the close, I posted 2 more trades, CLVS and Tesla. Please go back and watch those videos. Please look at my comments. You'll see that this is legitimate. There is a systematic approach that we use here. I'd love to have you learn it. I'm going to be trying to spend as much time on the YouTube videos as I can, but know that I'm also producing research in my chat room. So trade well, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please give it a thumbs up if you like the content. I'll see you tomorrow morning.